Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. This video is going to be useful for NDIS participants or their carers that have just received their new NDIS plan and had support coordination funding approved. Today I am explaining about Specialist Support Coordination or Support Coordination Level 3. Hi, my name is Lucia and I'm a Registered Support Coordinator, and I would really appreciate a quick like and subscribe before we begin. So let's start by examining what the role is about first. The Support Coordinator is someone who is linked to the NDIS participant and assists with the NDIS plan interpretation, explain what the person is funded for, what all of the different categories mean, and what supports participant can engage with, and also linking to those supports, thereby creating what is referred to as the care team around the participant. Overall, the care team, including the support coordinator, are there to assist the participant with progression towards their well-being and NDIS goals. So if you try to visualize this, the care team is the ship in the sea, that is the NDIS, and the support coordinator is someone who will assist the participant with navigating that ship based on the experience and knowledge that they have of the NDIS sea. And so this ship, or this care team, and the support coordinator as part of that care team will assist the participant with where it is they want to end up in terms of their NDIS and other well-being goals. There are 3 levels of support coordination: level 1, level 2, and level 3, which is referred to as specialist support coordination. I've already explained about level 1 and level 2, and links to those videos will pop up here somewhere, but today I will only focus on level 3, which is the specialized support coordination. Specialist support coordination builds onto the responsibilities for the level 1 and level 2. To quickly review level 1, support coordination assists with plan and funding interpretation, as well as how the funding can be used, help with calculating a budget, and building participants' confidence in engaging, negotiating, and linking with providers, services, and supports. This level 2 involves other things that make it a bit more complex, such as planning individualized supports based on the participants' circumstances, including their disability, how that impacts their life, address any barriers to accessing care, deal with any complex family dynamics, deal with risks, and so on. Support coordinators of all levels especially should be across legislation, rules, and regulation. Level 2, because it is dealing with more complex care, is also required to be experienced and knowledgeable of the NDIS framework on a deeper level, but also hopefully more across any of the recent changes that happen from time to time, because advocating for the participants' rights and also their needs is a significant part of the role. At this level, the support coordinators are also looking at more individualized supports when building that ship that forms that care team around the participant. This includes having knowledge and ability to link the participant not only to the NDIS providers, but also to mainstream supports, community supports, and if there are any informal supports, including family members or friends, that can all fit in together and work together to assist the participant with the well-being and the NDIS goals. But wait, we are still not done. Additionally, at level 2, there may be cases where participants experience unexpected decline of their physical or mental health. They may experience complete absence of supports and or social isolation, or maybe experience homelessness. And it is part of the level 2 support coordination responsibilities to sit with the participant, analyze the potential risks surrounding their circumstances, and plan for such circumstances, which is referred to as crisis planning. When such crises occur, level 2 support coordinator will assist participants with navigating those. For example, if the participant ends up in the hospital, the coordinator will work with the clinical team to follow up on any support letters they can provide to the NDIA about participants' well-being and care needs, participate in discharge planning meetings, ask for hospital discharge summary with consent from the participant, of course, and ask for relevant referrals to community-based supports. Or another example, in cases where a participant is struggling with finding housing, organizations that can assist with securing a house, or explore specialist disability accommodation, or SDA for short. All in all, it is a multifaceted case management type role. Specialist support coordination builds onto everything I have mentioned for level 1 and level 2. Specialist support coordinators assist with highly complex and high-risk situations that overlap with other systems such as justice, including forensic, housing, and child protection, and often involve frequent crises situations. Level 3 also manages high-risk transitions such as hospital discharges, prison releases, moving from homelessness into housing. The communication, coordination, and evidence collection for this role between different systems such as justice, child protection, and so on for Level 3 is much more involved and intense. And because of that, when level 3 support coordinator is completing reports, it must stand up to scrutiny from those other systems. This is to ensure there is complete and high-depth information available, because when crises happen, things can go seriously wrong in these types of cases. People with very complex care needs may have both level 2 and level 3 support coordination in their plan at the same time. Level 2 to keep day-to-day supports going or managed, and level 3 to assist with managing the risks, the care team, and the coordination of cross-system works. By having only one person manage both roles, level 1 and level 2 support coordination, there's only one point of contact for case management associated with that participant. This ensures there's 100% of accountability for the work performed, and also the care team knows who to contact in case of crisis or the situations that need to be clarified or followed up on. Level 3 support coordination funding is meant to be time limited, and as such, once participants' critical circumstances are stabilized and risks are managed and supports and services are in place and working well, level 3 support coordination will be reduced over time. And this may look like, after a while, once NDIA is satisfied everything is managed and working well, the participants will be funded for level 2 support coordination instead. At all levels, support coordinators are there to assist the participant with plan reassessment, plan variation, change of circumstance request, or be present during phone calls with NDIA in general. They are also responsible for reporting to NDIA. There are several reports that they are responsible for completing and submitting to NDIA. Firstly, the implementation report, which needs to be submitted at 8 weeks after participant's plan has begun or after the request of service has been accepted by the support coordinator. This report outlines participants' goals and how the support coordinator is assisting the participant with those goals. It also outlines which supports and services have been linked to the participant during these 8 weeks and what other services or steps will be taken later in the plan. Midterm implementation report is exactly what it sounds like and will have to be completed at specified intervals by the NDIA. This report is for a general update of the progress of the plan, utilization, and progress of the participants' goals. And of course, end of the plan report, it has so many other names like progress report or plan reassessment report. This report is there to summarize to the NDIA what has been done through the whole plan lifecycle. Which supports worked, which didn't. It breaks down what funding did and did not work, which supports are required to be reviewed, which supports are required to be added based on the recommendations in the reports from allied health professionals or any other clinical professionals. So specialist support coordinators is not clinical care. It does not diagnose, treat, provide therapy, write clinical treatment plans, or make medical decisions. Clinical work belongs to qualified health professionals like psychiatrists, occupational therapists, physiotherapists, or GPs. It is also not a 24/7 crisis response, although specialist support coordination helps and intervenes to stabilize complex situation when immediate risk arises. Emergency and acute services remain the lead here. So specialist support coordinators are also not plan management and not an NDIA delegate. They cannot hold funds, pay invoices, shift budgets between categories, or approve supports requests, and they also can't guarantee certain outcomes from NDIA. It is also not a direct support worker role, and the support coordinators are not responsible to deliver personal care, domestic assistance, or community access shifts or transport service. Specialist support coordinator or all support coordinators are also not legal representation or formal advocacy, even though they are there to assist the participants and advocate on their behalf, but it does not provide legal advice or act in tribunals or courts or serve as guardian, administrator, attorney, or nominee. It can coordinate with those roles and connect participants to advocacy services, but it does not replace them. Specialist support coordinator can coordinate complex housing pathways, such as specialist disability accommodation or individualized living options, or SIL, which is supported individual living funding, or mainstream rentals, and multi-agency work, but it does not act as a real estate agent, and therefore it can't sign leases or manage tenancies. It is also not a replacement for mainstream or community services such as mental health, justice, child protection, education, employment health, although specialist support coordinators will often have background in social work or psychology, but not all. In summary, specialist support coordinators is typically time limited and outcomes focused. aimed at resolving defined barriers associated with the participant's disability and the impact it has on their life, and also implements risk mitigating plans, and then steps down to level 2 or level 1 once support are in place and are stable. That's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.